Okay, well, delighted to be here on the MediaFlo booth here at IBC with Omar Javed, who is the Vice President of Business Development. Omar, tell us a little bit about where you see MediaFlo now in the European market, how things have developed maybe over the last 6 months.
I think we've made a lot of good progress. So this is our 4th year at the show, and I think if you just look at the array of things that we're demonstrating, both in terms of alternative devices, accessory devices, as well as a range of handsets and the capability of those handsets, I think that's it's one area that we've been able to set ourselves apart. As far as progress that has been made in Europe in general, we acquired L-band spectrum, 40 megahertz of L-band spectrum in the United Kingdom a couple of months ago. We're monitoring activities around spectrum in other European markets. I mean, that's been something that's sort of bedeviled commercial deployments for mobile TV in general. And we think this year and next year is going to be key to figuring out the spectrum side of it, UHF as well as whatever other spectrum becomes available. So that's something that we're closely monitoring.
Does figure out mean that, make your own investments, or would you maybe look at some, working with other partners who might then consider Flow as a technology once they've made those investments?
That's a great question. Our preferred approach is to really work with partners and have the partners acquire the spectrum, or we do that in conjunction with them. We're really, as we've demonstrated in the past, we're pretty flexible about how that happens. The fact is that the critical piece is getting spectrum for a commercial deployment. If you don't have that, then you just have interested parties, but no way to really realize that. So that's why I think we took this kind of approach in the UK. We're a technology company. We have a range of technologies. Mobile TV is one of them. And really, to get any of these to market, you need spectrum. And so we thought that this was a great opportunity for that.
Has it been frustrating? I mean, the user experience is, in my opinion, great. I'm not just saying that because you're here. Yeah. But there's been the view that, it's Europe, so, it's going to be DVB-H, and it doesn't really matter what you do about that.
So that bit has been frustrating, but I think that the market has slowly but surely turned around in that regard. So if you look at it, Norway recently announced a DMB deployment. So I think the fact is that, yes, there have been certain parts of the EU political establishment that have backed DVB-H quite strongly, and clearly Nokia is a strong backer as well, or has been historically. But I think the reality of it is that it has not been mandated, and that the markets and that the players in those markets are still free to choose and are indeed actively considering technologies like MediaFlo. So it isn't. I think the market has seen that that alternatives exist, viable alternatives exist, and they are free to deploy them and will.
And have you done any more work with Sky? You did a fairly high-profile trial with them. I don't know, a year and a half back or something, was it? Or?
Yeah, so we announced about, I think we did 2 trials with them, and the second trial was announced about a year and a half ago. So other than that, we haven't really, there's really nothing public to disclose at this point.
Okay. So why, just to finish this off maybe, why would you say European operators should still be considering MediaFlo?
Well, I think we have a technical advantage, but besides that, the technical advantage just really translates into a significant business advantage. And you have to build a dedicated network. Networks are expensive to build, spectrum is scarce. So if you can have a technology like ours that allows you to save half the cost on building that network compared to other technologies, or offer twice the amount of services, twice the amount of channels, we think that's a pretty significant advantage, especially when you look at how expensive these networks are to build and the fact that this is still early stage in the industry. So it's a significant advantage up front. So that's just an economic advantage. But I think what we also bring to the table is a benefit on the user experience side. Again, I think, with all due respect to competing technologies, we've tried to make it a TV-like experience. So you have channel changing times about 2 seconds. It's just like normal television, an electronic guide. We've tried to make it something ready for the mass market, so people can pick up a phone, watch TV like they know and love today.
Okay, Omar, thanks very much. We'll watch that with interest. Thank you.